and he was talking about politics. Tyrese is on this media tour. Some people call him Cry-Reese. He's been doing a lot of interviews. He was on Club Shay Shay. He's on Breakfast Club. He's everywhere. Got a crazy child support situation, but he's venting and ranting. And look, I'm seeing a lot of people calling him out. Look, he don't have his information together, but I could see where he's coming from. Look, it takes baby steps. I see a lot of people upset about a lot of black men's political views, and they're like, well, half of y'all ain't registered to vote anyway. And I'm like, well, they got to start somewhere. I am a registered voter, but I mean, you got to start somewhere. It starts with having an opinion and speaking out first. Then you educate yourself. But listen to this. This is Tyrese talking about the current administration.
Kamala Harris signed an Asian hate crime bill, which makes it beyond illegal to ever purposely and maliciously do anything to anybody in the Asian community. And there was a spike in crimes and criminal behavior in and around COVID, allegedly and specifically motivated by Trump. And so everybody started treating Asians, beating them, killing them, shooting them, stabbing them, hurting them. And then he gets into the White House, skips over every black and brown Mexican and Latino that have been getting killed like flies, and he makes it a law. Asian hate crime bill is signed into law. So whether you're a police officer or a regular civilian, if you wake up on a Wednesday and say, he's Asian, a woman or a man, let's go do something bad to them, which God forbid would ever happen again. But it is a crime bill that was signed into law that protects Asians at all costs. Where is that same fucking law to be signed into law when it comes to black and brown people? Because what you're doing is, President Biden and Kamala Harris, what you're doing is you're saying that black and brown people will continue to be disposable. That's
why we got to vote, and we got to make sure our voices are heard, Tyrese. And it matters when we speak up and speak truth to power. When we speak what's on our heart, we will be heard. But first, you got to have the courage to speak up. And that's why I love you, Tyrese. You speak your heart, and your heart will never fail you.
Right. Okay. So that was Tyrese. Now here's when Roland comes. Now Roland is a part of the Democrat police, right? A part, like, he come to the principal's office. Now the other week it was Jermaine Dupri. He summoned to his office. Now it's Tyrese, and Tyrese is doing this media run anyway. Wouldn't be surprised if he does put him on the show. But the way his tone and his delivery, I didn't like it. Roland's already too sassy for me to begin with. I can't stomach him. But yeah, this is Roland and his comeback.
Let me make this video real quick, okay? Like real quick. Tyrese, you do not know what you're talking about. That video where you're talking about an anti-Asian crime bill, that is a lie. Please, learn to fact check before you start talking. I have debunked this nonsense numerous times on Roland Martin Unfiltered. That is a lie. I literally have walked through the bill on my show. In the summary, it talks about the attacks on Asian Americans. It is called the COVID-19. It specifically mentions COVID-19. If you actually read the bill, which I've done on the air multiple times, it does not only apply to Asian Americans. It applies to everybody. It also, all it did was also create one job that compiled data. And so again, Tyrese, you're wrong. You are 100% wrong. And so please, all of you entertainers, when y'all jump out here and make videos and people run with it, I need you to do some verification, do some fact checking before you do that. Okay? So you're wrong. It is not. People called it the Asian hate crime bill because of the attacks. And if you're also going to run your mouths out here and go, there's never been a bill for African Americans, that's a lie. There have been 3 hate crimes bills specific to African Americans. The first one, you were dealing with the Civil Rights Act in 64. Okay. Then you also had the hate crimes bill that dealt with black churches were being burned. I also broke that down on Roland Martin Unfiltered. And then, of course, you had the lynching bill that was also signed. Okay? And don't forget, you also have the Matthew Shepard, James Byrd Act that dealt with hate crimes. Yeah, James Byrd, the black man who was dragged to death in Jasper, Texas. I went there. I broadcast from there. I walked down the street where he was murdered. And so please, all you blogs that keep posting this stuff, and Tyrese says he's wrong. He's wrong. Okay? I walked this stuff through on my show. Bill by bill, fact.
All right, so Roland starts going on his lecture. And look, Roland's not lying when he brings up those 3 bills, but this is the frustration. And this is why someone like a Tyrese probably doesn't even know these bills exist. Because a lot of them are either outdated or they just flat out get violated so much you don't realize it that it's a bill to begin with. Like the lynching bill. That original bill was written in, 1918? That was over 100 years ago. How relevant is lynching in this day and climate and age? Then they did it again in 64. And then they did it again, and it took till 2022 for it to go down as a hate crime. So they had signed that bill 100 years ago, and how many black people were still getting lynched all throughout the South up until it didn't stop anybody? Then he brings up the 64 civil rights, which is discrimination based off color, religion, sex. Hey, you think that all stopped after 1964? People no longer are getting discriminated every day out here by race, religion, color, and sex. Like, these bills have been around. This is what makes it frustrating if you do educate yourself. A lot of these bills have been in place for a long time, and they constantly get violated, and people are not held accountable, and black people are not justified for it. And that's the problem. Like, Tyrese is wrong technically, but he's right into his opinion. And like I said, he can educate himself, but you got to start somewhere. And I think that's why Benjamin Crump, as illiterate as he is, he just was like, yo, it starts somewhere. I'm glad you spoke out, brother. I'm glad you spoke out. You know what I mean? Because what do you want to say? Now, it started off, he didn't just aggressively call out Kamala and Biden. I don't think Roland would have took it so personal, but he did. And then they talk about this COVID-19 bill where the Asian protection is underneath that somehow. It's not technically a crime bill for them. Look, at the end of the day, black people are tired of seeing other black people get killed by law enforcement, and that's what Tyrese is really getting at. When you have a crime bill like the George Floyd Act that was passed in 2021 under Biden and Kamala's watch under Congress, but yet you're still seeing Sonia Massey's pop up, it's like, okay, what's going on? I mean, I thought y'all wrote this crime bill. What's going on? Is this guy going to be taken care of? Are y'all going to handle this? Is it going to be justice? This is the frustration part. So it's like, yeah, you broke down all of those crime bills, but none of that has it really changed anything? Like I say, they wrote the original lynching bill 100 years ago. And you still got black folks that could tell you that their great uncle or so-and-so was lynched in the 40s or 50s or something. Like, stop it, man. This stuff is still going on. But Tyrese was ridiculed by all the liberals and Roland and his posse and all of them for that. So, yeah, they don't want a black man to have any opinion as long as it doesn't align with their program. If your opinion doesn't go with what they're set up for, then they don't. They want you to shut up. They want you to shut up and dribble. Go sit down and play 2K. Go smoke with your little buddies or do some knick-knock shit. They don't want no black men's opinion on anything if it's not on code with the subject at hand, what they going with. So that is what it is, man. But Tyrese is, he's going through a lot too. You see what that boy's paying for child support. You would see why he's out here crying and all that. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Hit the like button for the algorithm. Like, share, subscribe. I'm out of here.